If you are a lifelong learner, and if you're here on this channel, then chances are that you are, then you've probably heard of Masterclass. Masterclass is where people that are professionals, that are at the top of their game in their field, teach you how to do what they are experts at. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about the Tom Morello electric guitar Masterclass and let you know if it's going to be right for you and if you should check it out. Let's go. Hi, my name is Pete and welcome to Studio Live today, where my goal is to help you create, record and release your best music through tips and tricks and tutorials and even review videos like this one. So if that sounds like your bag, consider subscribing. Today, we're looking at Masterclass, and this is the first in a series of videos because I have just purchased a 1-year subscription to Masterclass, and I'm going to go through all of the different music-related Masterclass courses and let you know what they're all about, should you consider them, who are they for, and if you should shell out your hard-earned to join up to Masterclass and check them out. So in this one, it's all about electric guitar with Tom Morello, who's the guitarist for Rage Against the Machine, for Audioslave, Prophets of Rage, one of the greatest rock guitarists of all time. So let's jump in and let you know what this course is all about and if it might be for you. And just to be super clear before we kick off, I did pay the full retail price for Masterclass. It was $280 Australian for a whole 12 months worth of access to all of the different courses. So it will vary in your part of the world, but I wanted to let you know that I'm not affiliated with Masterclass. This is just my view and my opinion of this course and these courses as we go through and review them. And also to keep things on track, because I do like to talk, I'm going to do this in 4 key sections. I'm going to let you know who this course is for, some of the key topics that are covered, what my top 5 takeouts from the course were, and then I'm going to finish up by letting you know if I would recommend this course or not. So let's jump in without any further ado and talk about electric guitar with Tom Morello. So who is this course for? Well, I would say it's for someone who's an intermediate level guitarist. So if you're an absolute beginner and you don't know your C chord from your A chord from your G chord, maybe you need to do some other preliminary learning first. But if you know your way around the neck of a guitar and you've got some pretty good chops, then this is definitely going to help you take you to the next level and become a better guitarist. What does Tom cover in this course? Well, it's a lot of information there. So there's a heap of information about how to practice, how to learn things, a bit about the theory, a lot about the practice. Tom does some really cool things with his noise chart where he shows you all of the ways that he can create all of these very cool and unique tones using his electric guitar. So there's a really good combination here of inspiration with the stories and the behind the scenes and learning about his experience, the practical, which is him showing you how to actually get these done on guitar, and then the theory, so learning a little bit behind what he's actually doing, what the sort of scales he's using are, and some of that theory and practice, which was really cool to be able to dial into all of those things because it wasn't just one-dimensional. It was a really long course, but it was long in a really good way. There was a heap of valuable content, which you can either binge watch, like I did, or you can do it in a chunk a day, so you can do it over a long period of time. So the content there was really good, really solid, lots of variety. So what were my key takeouts? Well, the 5 key points that I have here. Number 1 is to embrace your tone. So Tom told some really cool stories about when he was first starting out and he was trying to find the perfect guitar tone. So he was trying to buy gear and trying to buy amps and trying to buy pedals and guitars and processors to get the sound that he had in his head. But like most of us starting out, he didn't have the cash to go out and spend on all of this stuff and he just couldn't ever find the sound. So what he actually did is he took the tone that he had with the gear that he had and he wrote songs and wrote riffs and wrote jams around the tone that he was producing. So I think the really important lesson out of this one is don't go searching for this mythical perfect tone when you're playing guitar or anything in music. Take what you have right now and actually use that to create your own unique and different tone, and that will become your own sound. Key takeout number 2 is that you should embrace your imperfections, your eccentricities, what's different about your music, and that there are no rules when it comes to creating music. And I love this because it's a mantra that I live by, and to hear someone that I look up to like Tom Morello say the same thing is really encouraging because he basically just laid it out there and said, you don't want to be the same. You don't want to be this generic cookie cutter version. You don't want to strive to get a tone that's exactly like whoever your guitar hero is. You want to embrace what you're doing and embrace your own sound and write around your own sound. And again, there are no rules in creation. When you're creating, breaking the rules or doing things differently can often have better results than just following the crowd. My third key takeout was to play what you want to play, create the music that you want to create. So Tom told a very cool story about a band that he was in early on where they were recording and they had a producer in there and he's like, yeah, we really want to put some keyboards on this track, Tom. And Tom's like, if I have keyboards on my track, my metalhead friends are going to like beat me up and call me names. So no, we don't want keyboards. And he actually said at the end of the day, he snuck in and like unplugged all the keyboards. And they came in the next day and said, oh, we can't put the keyboards on this track. And Tom's like, oh, what a shame. We better go with just the guitars that we had originally. And that's not saying that you shouldn't embrace diversity. If anything, it's saying that you should, but you should do things that are true to yourself and that are what you want to create. If someone else is telling you, hey, you're going to get a better pop vibe or a better commercial vibe by doing it this way, and it's against the grain, it's not something that you want to do, then consider your own beliefs and your own thoughts. Because if you create music at the end of the day, you have to be the one that is liking the music you create. If you aren't listening to your own music and digging your own music, then why are you creating it in the first place? So I loved that, and that was another very cool takeout from this course. Key takeout number 4, and this is a very cool one that I instantly wrote down notes, so maybe grab a pen and paper or your phone or something to get this one down, because Tom said something very cool, which is practice and repetition and theory unlocks creativity and removes barriers. Now, the reason I think this is important is that there's a debate about whether you should know your theory or whether you should practice scales or whether you should do this boring part of music. It's not creative to just sit there and play scales or to learn the pentatonic scale on your guitar so you can play it over and over again. But Tom's point around this was that once you have that knowledge, it actually unlocks your ability and your creativity, and it removes any barriers you may have. So instead of sitting down and thinking about which notes work with others, you actually know that already, and then you can choose to break those rules 100%. But without actually knowing it in the first place, then it's really hard to get that feel and get that. You might be held back because you have that block, that barrier in your way. So I thought this was a really interesting and very cool way to approach practice, repetition, and theory, and it's something that I will be personally embracing in my music in the future. And the fifth and final key takeout I got from Tom Morello's course on electric guitar wasn't really about playing electric guitar at all. It was about collaboration. And he told a story about when he was with Rage Against the Machine, and he said that when there's 1 + 1 + 1 + 1, so the 4 members of the band, it equals 752. I think that was the number he threw out there. And this is something that I personally agree with and don't do enough, which is collaborating with other people. So we have the habit of sitting in our audio caves, creating music, doing everything ourselves. I can program drums, I can play guitar, I can sing, I can play bass, I can do everything and create a song. But it's all just me, it's all just one person. As soon as you add in a second, third, fourth person, you're collaborating, you're sharing that knowledge. And I thought that that was something really poignant and a very key takeaway from me from this course. On a quick part B to that number 5 takeout is the 5 reasons that bands and collaborations don't work. Tom laid these out. He said it's ego, it's money, it's drugs and alcohol, it's significant others, and there was one more, mental health. And I think that these are so important to consider, not only for your own creativity, but when you're working with others. And you could actually say that that's kind of life in general as well. It's about relationships, and it's about the struggles and the things that make bands don't work. His advice was, something I thought was very cool, is that when he's in bands, about once a year, he gets them all to sit down and watch the movie This Is Spinal Tap, because that covers all 5 of those. And what the band can then do is they watch the movie, and then afterwards they sit down and go, right, who's doing any of these? Are any of these barriers to our creativity right now? And I just thought that was not only very humorous and a very cool thing, and I happen to love Spinal Tap, but I thought it was really cool to identify those things and to think about what those barriers might be when you're collaborating and creating in a band situation. So conclusion, would I recommend this course? Well, you've probably heard from the way I've been talking about it that yes, 100% I would. I found myself captivated. I did this course in about 5 days, and yes, I didn't do every scale and every exercise. I need to go back and redo the course, but that's a good thing, I guess, about having the 12-month membership that I have. And again, not sponsored by Masterclass, no affiliation with them. But for me, I thought, well, it costs, basically each course costs $140 Australian, and it was $280 Australian for 12 months and every course. So for the next 12 months, I'm going to be learning a lot, and I'm going to be covering a lot of these courses right here on Studio Live today. So the next one will be coming up really soon. We've got a poll here on the channel, and it's nearly about to finish, and we'll let you know what the next video will be. Or if you're in the future, it may already be in one of the links down there below. You can subscribe to the channel by clicking or tapping on the Studio Live Today icon, and I'll see you on the next video. Rock on.